He's had 6 consecutive seasons with 10 rushing touchdowns. 1,000 yards in 5 of the last 6 years. One of them was a 2,000-yard season. The only year in which he didn't run for 1,000 yards was a year in which he got injured, missed half the year, and still finished in the top 10 in rushing in the NFL. So I understand that two things. I understand that we have devalued the significance of a running back, and I understand that the Ravens already ran the ball well. But I'm going to use an overused expression. To me, RC, Derrick Henry is one of one. I haven't seen anybody like him since Earl Campbell, and I think he makes a huge difference even on a Ravens team that was as good as they were.
Derrick Henry still has a ton left in the tank. Derrick Henry is still a physical specimen and marvel at the position. Derrick Henry is only going to distinctly improve the Super Bowl chances of the Baltimore Ravens on Madden.
Yeah, on Madden?
That's it.
What do you mean on Madden?
If you play Madden career mode or however you play Madden and Derrick Henry is playing running back for the Ravens, you can probably go win the Super Bowl on there because you can run the football on 3rd and 8 and actually get a first down. Because you can do things with Derrick Henry that you can't do in real life football games. And he's only being added to what was already the #1 rushing offense in the entire NFL. A team that you were scared to line up with 7 in the box already. That's not going to change with Derrick Henry. What needs to change, even though Derrick Henry is there, is being able to pass the football efficiently and proficiently in the playoffs when Patrick Mahomes and the defense of Steve Spagnuolo are on the other side of the field. What needs to change is finding ways to make those critical plays in the most important situational football moments, which the Baltimore Ravens have not been able to do thus far under Lamar Jackson. Is it great to have Derrick Henry? On paper, are we going to be wowed by the physicality that is in the backfield when Lamar Jackson is in the shotgun and when Derrick Henry is standing to his right or his left? Absolutely. Does that increase their chances to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not.
Wow.
They can always run the ball. They're going to be able to run the ball this year. Does that mean they're better than the Kansas City Chiefs? We don't know until they play in the playoffs.
Spoken like a true Steeler.
The Steeler, is that what it is?
What a wet blanket he is, right?
Is that what you're hearing here? Is this a Steeler unwilling to give the Ravens the credit?
He's got a towel in his pocket.
Blanket.
Like it
What do you think of it,
me.
Madam Secretary?
Madam Secretary loves it. Now, to be fair to RC, this does not guarantee them that they win the Super Bowl, but I know that it's going to wear down the Browns' defense, the Steelers' defense, the Bengals' defense, knowing that you have to line up and stop this man. In addition to, oh, wait, we also have to make sure Lamar doesn't go crazy on us as well. Now, hopefully they improve the passing game, get somebody else besides Zay Flowers, and I need Zay Flowers to contribute a little bit more. But this is a great move. The Ravens are all, like, they're at least making moves that suggest they understand their time is now, and they're all in.
Lewis, help me here. I mean, this is a Ravens team. Yeah. Sometimes I think we forget about the season they just had. We let one bad half rewrite their entire season. They played a terrible first half against Kansas City at home in the AFC Championship game, and it's like none of the rest of it happened. Zay Flowers fumbles on the half-a-yard line. Although they're going to win that game like 9 million different ways.
But they did not.
And now they added Derrick Henry. I get it, but the other side has Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead, Lewis.
I think this is the differentiator with Derrick. Not only is he the profile, the power back, right, that we all said Dallas could use this kind of guy. Here's the differentiator. This is why they missed Keaton Mitchell so much when he got hurt. Derrick not only is the guy who will wear you down because of his sheer size, you can keep Derrick contained for 3/4 of the game. Okay, and you can be like, hey, look, we're going to stack the box, and we're putting them hats on him, we're hitting him. Hey, we could flip him on his head a couple times. But here's the thing. That one time you don't get him, he can take it 80. He can take it 90 on you. And see, that's where he's different. That's where Keaton Mitchell's different. That's where, like in the NFL, every coach wants those guys who they go like this. They can shut us down for 3/4. But we have guys who can take an 80 and flip the game and win the game. It's that simple, right? And maybe he doesn't, maybe they don't run the football for the same amount of yardage. Maybe he doesn't average the same yards per carry. But he can go the distance, and that's why they want him. That's why.
I'm sorry. Lewis is making so much sense right now, but that image of Josh Norman getting out of the stadium.
We have two safeties on the show. Let's stop arguing about Derrick Henry for a minute. Just tell me, Ryan Clark, as a safety, Show that one again, Cindy. Just give me the Josh Norman play one more time. As you watch this, what emotions go through you?
None. Like, that's what Derrick Henry is supposed to do. Like, everybody gets brave when they get back there by us. Like, that's what happens. Like, no Casey Hampton. No
his
James
legs,
Ferrier.
bro.
Like, there's no Fred Warner right there. There's no Roquan Smith there. Of course he's brave. He's 6'10", 477 pounds, and he runs 4'3". Of course, when he gets back there, he's going to stick out the long arm of the damn law. I would do it too if I could physically impose my will upon smaller people. It just so happens they don't let me play Pop Warner anymore. But on a serious note, here's the thing I think Derrick Henry helps. Now Lamar Jackson, you don't have to be the best third down runner that we have. Now, Todd Monken, when I do get to the playoffs, I may remember I have another future Hall of Famer on my offense in the backfield.
Derrick Henry did not sign with the Cowboys, and he has that in common with everyone else on planet Earth. They've done nothing so far, and their former receiver, Des Bryant, is noticing. He said, get ready to take the blame, Dak, because I really don't see no help coming your way unless a miracle happens. Everybody in the NFC East got better during free agency, but the Cowboys, the draft will not be enough. Is he right, Lewis? Are the Cowboys falling behind the rest of the NFC contenders this week?
Yeah, right now, yeah, they are. They are behind, but look, there's still more time to go. Would you have liked to have seen Derrick Henry on this roster? Yeah, and like I said, it's because of the explosive component that he brings in that big body. He can score touchdowns from anywhere on the field. And now they're going, look, Des Bryant, us, we're all sitting there going, well, where the hell is that going to come from? Where is it going to come from? Are there still people out there that can help you get that done? Yeah. Is it in the draft? Yeah. People aren't comfortable with the draft. You know why? Because people haven't seen those kids play in college, in the NFL yet. We've seen Derrick Henry play in the NFL. We've seen Tony Pollard playing in the NFL. But I'm telling you, there's some young cats coming up. Look, I'm going to mention Trey Benson's name again from Florida State. This is the kind of guy, if you're not going to get Derrick Henry, you better get somebody like this. You better get a 220-pound plus dude who can catch the ball out of the backfield and who can take it 80 for you, who can take some of that pressure off of Dak. Because if you don't do it then, now we really coming for you. Now we're really going to say, hey, man, what does all in mean? What does all in really mean? Because, look, we know this. As much as we love Dak, everybody loves Dak's story. Everybody loves regular season Dak. Everybody loves this, what he has shown on tape. He ain't going to get it done by himself. He needs the help. And if you don't give it to him, Des is right. We're going to start blaming Dak again, talking about, see, this is why you shouldn't pay him the way you pay him. They better get him some help. There is time. There is time, but you better not mess it up.
I'm going to say, I didn't love their approach in the first hour. I'm sort of starting to love the Dallas Cowboys approach.
Why?
So, Jerry, think about this.
In an hour?
Think about this, though, guys. Every offseason, what happens? The Dallas Cowboys go out and they grab a Brandon Cooks, or they grab this guy.
Stephon Gilmore.
Right? And what do? Oh, my goodness, the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. And then we have all of these expectations, and everybody's let down. You know how you cannot be disappointed? Don't build no expectations.
Don't do it.
So now that we aren't going out and get anyone, nobody's going to talk about us winning. Now that we aren't making any moves, everyone is going to correctly assess our suck. They're going to know going into the season, they ain't winning the Super Bowl.
Are they going to suck?
So guess what, Greedy?
Are the Cowboys going to suck?
If the Cowboys don't get a linebacker, if the Cowboys don't retool the back of their secondary or the middle of their secondary, talking about the safety position where you have Malik Hooker, you have Donovan Wilson, if they don't find a way to get someone outside of CeeDee Lamb to help Dak Prescott when we're talking about skilled players at the wide receiver positions, yes. The Dallas Cowboys are not going to be a factor in the NFC. There are things that they are going to have to address going forward, and if those things do not change, this team is going to be in the bottom half of the NFC East.
I wish we would stop talking about the Cowboys.
Why?
Because if we just looked at what they did on the field, we'd say, okay, that's enough of that. We literally expect them to do better than how they perform, and then they don't. So we thought Jerry Jones saying, oh, we're all in. This is our time. We're going to go all in. And right now we're already like, They haven't done a thing. They haven't done a thing. And so I just wish we would stop talking about the Cowboys. I wish we'd stop talking about them and that they would surprise us by winning the Super Bowl just so it could all be over. But I know that is not going to happen. So it is what it is. This team has a lot of roster holes. They only have one running back under contract who's Deuce Vaughn. They need to improve the rushing game. They need to improve the defense up the middle. They have a lot of things that they need to do. Will they do it? I don't know. It's a little too soon to push the panic button. However, like, we really should be talking about other teams.
All they've done is lost people.
Right.
That's it. And I'm talking about from defensive coordinator to offensive linemen to rushers. All they've done is lost people, and they haven't added any pieces. How is that a recipe for success anywhere, Lou?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Look, that's why every time the conversation comes up about does Dallas have a culture problem? No, they don't have a culture problem. They have a personnel problem.
Yes.
That's what they've got, okay? And we've talked about the linebacker position. We've talked about the interior of the defense up front, the defensive tackle position. Look, this is far beyond getting, the running back position. They have a lot of issues. There's time. There's time to correct them, but they better get them corrected. Otherwise, we're going to circle back to this over and over.
Their three best players are going to want to be the highest paid at their position. That's CeeDee Lamb, that's Dak Prescott, that's Micah Parsons. All of that is coming down the pipeline as well.
Exactly. And right now they got almost $60 million cap hit sitting there with Dak, and he's got all the leverage. And